All right, we are not in a parent pickup line. We are in my driveway. I just realized yesterday when I was making the parent pickup line vlog with you guys that I didn't even get a chance to share with you what I wanted to share with you yet again. I ran out of time because honestly what happened, I was in the parent pickup line. I was recording a whole vlog with you guys. I got there early to make sure I had enough time like I did last week as well. And that my phone is on a stand, like on my dashboard, and it overheated. My phone is like right underneath the windshield and my phone just shut down on me. It was like, too hot. And I'm like, no, not again. So I had to like take my phone case off of my phone, and I just sat there for like a solid minute with my phone in front of the AC vents, like full blast AC, just trying to get my phone to cool down. And finally it did, and I was able to record enough where I could recap you on where I was at with the Nightmare Before Christmas kit and how I want to move forward with that. And I was like, okay, well that's great. Now I've updated you guys on what I got from you feedback wise on my video from last week and what I want to do moving forward and all that. But I still didn't get a chance to share with you all of the other things that I wanted to chat with you guys about. And I still want to hang out with you guys. So I decided that I would just come back to the house and I would sit in my car in my driveway and just finish this vlog with you guys, hanging out with you guys, so that way I could, start moving on and talking about new things. I think that's what I do a lot of the time, though, is I move so fast and my life seems to have new stuff thrown at it so often that I want to share something with you. But if I don't share it with you like right away, then 5 things pile on top of it, and all of a sudden that thing I wanted to share with you like disappears and I forget about it and we move forward, right? We move on. But I don't want to do that. I want to try to slow down a little bit more and vlog with you guys, talk with you guys, share things with you guys. So one of those things I wanted to share with you is this app that I've had on my phone for a year now, and it's called the Fabulous app. And I know the name sounds really ridiculous in a way, but the whole point of this app, the Fabulous app, is that it is to help you create habits that you want. It's to help guide you and get you to the life that you ideally want to see, be played out. Certain habits you want in your life, certain things you want out of your life, and to get you to your goals. If anything, it's really also just like an app to help you achieve your goals. So I've had this app for a while, and I think the really cool thing about it is how simple it begins and how fundamental it can make things. And really, it's so silly how its perspective is on things. And let me share an example. So an example, if you want to start exercising, like that's something that you want to create a habit of, you want it to become second nature, to where you're not even forcing it into your life or trying to schedule things around it. It just becomes a natural thing for you. Well, they say, don't jump into, assuming you're going to be working out 30 minutes a day on a really strenuous workout. Start small, start very, very small. So they're like, okay, first start by scheduling a class, something not too much, but schedule a class, maybe invite a friend to go with you so that way it holds you accountable. But if that doesn't work, then they go down as far as, okay, well, why don't you try to just make it to the gym? Not anything about like working out at all. They're just like, just get there. Just drive to the gym, walk through the door. That's your goal. And if your mindset is just that, you're like, that's silly. But okay, if that's where we're at, then let me give that a try. And what's crazy is if you can at least get there and open the door, then you're there, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm here, so I'm gonna work out. You know, it's like the silly things like that. Or if that's too much, if you can't even get into the car to drive to the gym, they're like, okay, do one sit-up. Just one. Just at home, do one sit-up. That's all we're asking for. That's all we want. That's all we want to see is just do one. Do one sit-up. And you're like, this is silly. This is ridiculous. But okay, that's all you want me to do is one sit-up, then I'll get down on the floor and I'll do one sit-up. And then all of a sudden you're there and you're like, well, I can do 5, you know, and then all of a sudden it's 10. And it's just your mindset just getting you there. You know, if you can break it down to something so absolutely ridiculous that you can't not do it, and you're like, okay, well, I can't not do that. Then you do it, and then all of a sudden you've put yourself into that space, into the frame of mind, and then you end up doing it. And I'm like, that's brilliant. Or another example is reading. If you want to read, but maybe the book that you want to read is huge and the chapters are huge, like 20-page chapters, and maybe the words, the font is really small, and you're like, every time I try to read this book, it just takes too long. Then break it down and maybe say, I'm going to read 1 page. And I've actually done that. There's been days where I'm just exhausted by the end of the night. I'm so tired, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to read 1 page. That's all I'm going to ask of myself is just read 1 page. And then I end up reading like 3. And still, that's not a lot, but I'm now 3 pages further than I was. Or if the page, you're finding yourself so tired, you can't make a page. Then the app's like, well, then read a paragraph or just read a sentence, but just make some forward progress. Because if you can make even just a little bit of progress, then you have gained momentum. You haven't just lost momentum and then created frustration for yourself and give up. You know, they're just like, if you can just do just the smallest little thing, then you've made progress. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's so incredibly beautiful. So right now I have a challenge on the app where it wants me to declutter things. Every day I have to declutter something. And they're like, it can be as simple as just cleaning out your wallet and that's your something, you know, or it can be just sweeping your floors or cleaning a whole room if you want. But they're like, just declutter something. And I've been doing that for a week now, 4 or 5 days to a week, I want to say. And it has made such a positive impact on my life and my brain and stress. And it's been so positive that I'm like, this is amazing. Like today I cleaned my coffee pot. I have a Keurig coffee pot, and every now and then I'll change the filter, but that's the extent of what I do to clean it, which might sound disgusting. So I'm sorry if that grosses you out. But apparently there's a whole cleaning kit. So I got the cleaning kit and I did the solution, running the solution through the system. I did the little pod that you put in and you run water through the pod, which runs it through the system. So everything is kind of cleaning itself out. And I do the filters, so I'll just change the filter also. But that was my thing for today. I cleaned my whole coffee machine, which I have never done it to that extent. And so that's my thing for today. And that it just felt really cool. Like, wow, I actually like took care of that. It's something I took care of and it's now done, and it just feels so good. Oh gosh. Oh, one of the things I did, I have notes. Another thing I did to declutter was I rearranged my studio. So I had a neighbor. My neighbors have been very curious about my studio. Like they saw it get built from the ground up. We've already told them all what it is, what the structure is, that it's my studio for my YouTube channel, for my work. And they're still very curious. And I had one neighbor and she was like, can I please see the inside of your studio? I want to see what you did with it. And I'm like, okay. And I've really been dragging my feet on showing anybody or even creating a vlog showing the studio reveal, because there's just certain things that I haven't found homes for, certain things I didn't know where I wanted them to go. I didn't feel good about how my studio was arranged. I felt like it still wasn't right. So having a push of somebody actually physically coming to see it and check it out, I'm like, okay, I need to hurry up and get this done. And what I ended up doing was I ended up like rearranging everything, and I was decluttering, and I took out, I recycled old Hirschners and Annie's Attics and Mary Maxim magazines that I've held on to just because I was like, the theme looks cool, I might want to reference a color scheme or something. And I just went through and I rearranged, or I just got rid of it. I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need this in my space. I would rather just have the space be clean and clear and just organized than have all this stuff. So I ended up like frogging some projects that have just been hanging out for a really long time, and I rolled them all back into a ball so I could do something else with them. And I moved my desk around, I moved my cubbies to a new spot, and I just kind of redid everything. And then I got it to where I really like it. I really, really like it. I think I'm good. And I showed it to my neighbor, and she thought it was awesome, loved the space. And I'm like, well, since the space is done now, it's ready, I've, basically got it looking great. I did a vlog. So I recorded a vlog showing off my studio, letting you see it, the big studio reveal, showing you all the nooks and crannies, the drawers, the cupboards, like all the things, letting you really see my space and where I work right now. But what you don't see is that I literally had like a room full of stuff that I removed from the studio of clutter, so that way it wasn't in there. And that's all like project bags and extra yarn and stuff like that. So anyways, felt good, feels amazing. I'm super excited about it, and I'm super excited to have that reveal for you that you're going to see very soon. I just need to edit that video now. So anyways, that's what I really wanted to share with you, and I'm sure there's other stuff that I just would love to share with you because I love hanging out with you and talking to you. But I will go ahead and let you go, and I'll see you with the next one, guys. Bye.